should be good. Should be.
Tell us if we're not. That's like 2 weeks in a row.
Getting lucky.
See if you can do the whole intro.
Welcome to Books We Never Read. I'm Jason. I'm Nicole.
Except for those we have.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to Books We Never Read, except... Wait, oh, yeah. Wait.
I'm Nicole. I've had my coffee this morning.
I'm Jason.
Welcome to the book club.
Yes.
What are we talking about today?
Part 2 of...
Act
2 of Famous Last Words by...
Gillian McAllister.
Gillian McAllister, yeah.
So if you haven't read this far into the book, stop. Go read. It's a good one so far, I think. Hopefully Peggy's liking it a little better. And then catch up with us on the replay. If you're catching us live and you have read up to this point, chat us up in the live chat. If you're catching us on a replay, chat us up in the discussion box because we love reliving the books.
Mm-hmm. We talked to somebody this week about...
Tom Lake.
Tom Lake, yeah. That was fun.
That was nice. What a good one. I forgot about that one.
Mm-hmm.
We're on YouTube Music as a podcast, and we're on Instagram sometimes.
Sometimes.
For the memes. And I totally forgot. I got distracted by Tom Lake. So here we are.
Sorry.
That's okay. Oh, yeah. This book has lots of, opportunities for guesses.
Yeah.
You know? And so that's always fun.
We love a good guess.
Yeah. So speaking of guesses, as soon as we hung up last week, I was like, I have a guess. You know, Luke. Who's Adam? Oh, yeah. Luke has been a ghostwriter, all this time. And I was like, well, duh. He's going to somehow let Cam know what's going on through ghostwriting submissions. And I think that he's doing that through Adam. Adam had submitted a book.
Right.
Now, about 7 years ago, and has just submitted his next book.
Right. Well, and so I didn't hear this theory from you until last night. Let's go ahead and get into it. Here we are, right? Intro's done, guys. We're on to the book stuff. You told me...
What was in the note that he left her?
Yeah, there was the front part which just said, "It's been so lovely with you both." And then there was the back.
With something scratched out.
What
did it say?
And it said... Oh, I don't remember now. You told me and I forgot.
Do y'all remember?
It was like some normal stuff. It sounded normal. But it said... Tell me.
I think the phrase... Well, I wanted to see if someone confirmed it. Because I want to make sure I'm not thinking of the wrong thing. I think the phrase was, if anything.
Yes, if anything. Yes, that was the phrase.
Oh, Peggy's on board too. And so...
But we've seen Adam somewhere?
No, Adam is...
Yeah, he's a real person.
Adam is a...
I gotcha.
There's a front for Adam.
Gotcha.
And the book, the manuscript that Cam is reading, there was this, description of, well, I grew up in this family crime unit and I got into the family business and I didn't want to do it and I had to pretend there were other things that I was selling. But if anyone, and once he dies in the book, he's like, if anyone in the family wants to get out, if anything, the weapon's buried in the backyard.
Yeah.
What
That's
a weird
slick catch.
phrase to use. And so I noticed that. And it might be nothing. It might be a red herring. Hi.
Hey, baby angel.
Atlas has entered the chat. She has a toy.
Why don't you go lay down, baby?
She's gone. So you might hear some squeaks and you might hear some barks. So yeah. Anyways, I think that she's going to uncover some mysteries through Adam.
Okay, but so all right. So the manuscript says, if anything, the weapon I used is buried outside.
And there was something else.
All right,
as well.
but so it's not really going to be a weapon, probably.
Or the weapon to get out of the family crime.
Right.
Yeah, the weapon against the family, or something. And there was something else in there too that I forgot to go back and look at. I also think that Charlie is a plant.
I think we know that Charlie is a plant.
Do we?
Yeah, the last thing that is said in this reading is that he steps out of the house after having they had champagne or something one night, right? You remember that? Mm-hmm. Okay. He steps out of the house and says, "Okay, I've got to go tell my brother about this."
Oh, did he?
Yes. That's the last part.
I did not hear that at all.
Yeah. It is. I had to rewind it 3 times to double check. I'm not gonna. I'm doing an audiobook style, but
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's hanging out with her for whatever reason. I can't remember why, but they're at her house. And he says,
No, so it was a new chapter of the anonymous reporting of Cam's whereabouts. And it was,
yes.
as I sat outside, I overheard everything. Or, like I overheard, the best part of today's thing was that I overheard everything in that conversation. So whoever has been in the alleyway listening and watching.
No, I don't think that's quite what it said. I think it implied that it was Charlie. Do you have the written version?
No.
Okay.
It was a separate.
Yeah, I think that he is ambiguous, but I think it significantly implies that it is Charlie.
I don't know. Just because those chapters have been so separate, but I mean that makes sense that it would not give that away right away.
Right. Well, so I mean, like there's we keep seeing this person loitering around Cam's house. It makes sense that it would be that person would be Charlie, because she would not find it weird if he was around. I don't know. I definitely think we were led to believe that was Charlie. Yeah, I don't disagree that this reading was a bit more boring than like the original part. Right? There's no siege. There's no like hostage negotiation. There's no like emergency. If anything, this is like the true mom traum chapter, right? Because here we are 7 years later, still dealing with this. It still comes up. It comes up at school, and it comes up at at work, and then now she has to tell Charlie about it.
And see, I think that Charlie's acting way too like he already knows all this information.
Mm-hmm.
And that he's trying to act like he doesn't know all this information. That's how I mean, there's just no way that he wouldn't know.
Yeah. I think it was something about, like, in the chapter about the person reporting back to their brother, the person says, "Now I've heard it from the horse's mouth," or something like that.
Because he overheard, yeah. I think it's because he overheard, but it might be Charlie. And, we don't know anything from the beginning parts of the book about either of their families, except for Libby, or Liv, or whatever her name is.
Yeah. But okay, so fine. Let's say that Luke is from some crime family or whatever. I guess that's the theory now, right? Like that's the theory.
That's the theory.
So he's in some crime family and he wants out. What is this? Like what? Okay, but so like he's got blackmail or something buried out in the garden. That's one way, right? And I guess that would explain what they were looking for, whoever was looking for, whenever they burgled his house, right? They're looking for this blackmail or whatever. But like, who killed the people in the warehouse? Was it Luke?
Right.
And it might have been.
So
we still might have that be the situation.
So it's interesting in this part, it has switched from Luke as a bad guy to Luke as a good guy. Luke can be both things. Yes. He can have lived a life of crime and done bad things and still have done bad things, but also did this thing out of kind of protection for himself.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a new theory.
Okay.
I'm disappointed because I think we're not going towards the angel theory anymore.
Well, yeah.
I really wanted that. I needed it. So my new theory is...
We haven't even seen that guy really since then, have we?
No. My new theory is vampires. No, I'm just kidding.
No.
It's not really. It's not really. No, so my new... Hang on, let's catch up real quick. Okay, yeah. So Sue is saying that Charlie keeps showing up at the sweetest moments, and he's a plant. And I think everybody agrees with that. Like, something sketchy is going on with Charlie. And what's interesting about that is Cam thinks she's the one who's hiding things from Charlie, but it definitely seems to be, sort of the opposite. And he gives these weird answers about, like, jobs he used to have. And, like, he's almost, like, migrant, right? Like, he's just...
yeah, so it's like, what did you do in that position? I don't remember.
Yeah.
What?
Well, it was something about, like, working, like, cell phone towers or something. I mean, it was just bizarre.
I changed my name and my...
Yeah. So, anyway, I think that's interesting. Okay, so here's my new theory. Once we go to... Once Niall goes to this house and lies to this guy who, like, provides protection, right? I can't remember his name now. But so Niall goes in there. He finds, like, this dark web password and everything. He gets in there. He reads the messages. He sees Luke talking to whatever the guy's name is, saying, like, but I need a gun now, I need protection, blah, 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 whatever. That's not Luke.
Oh, you don't think so?
No.
Who would it be? Maybe his brother?
No.
Who do you think it is?
It's the woman in the warehouse. That's what I think.
I do think she's guilty in this somehow.
There's something going on there, but I think that's going to be he's on to something, right? Like this guy was providing protection. Luke is involved, but there's no reason to think that message is coming from Luke. We haven't found anything about that, like on his devices. We haven't seen. I mean, like, sure, the devices were wiped or whatever, but I'm just saying that, like, we are definitely jumping to a conclusion here. And somebody actually says that, like, one of the other cops at some point is like, I don't know, man, we don't even know that that's Luke. And Niall's like,
right.
And the cops are being so, like, ignorant about all these other things that you kind of lump that in there with everything else. I'm not buying it.
Okay, we'll go one step further. The woman, the wife of the hostage that has just been killed, she didn't specify which hostage she was the wife of. What if she was the secret wife?
I don't know about that. Maybe.
I mean, let's go all the way. You guessed angels last week. Let me guess secret lover.
Fair enough. Fair enough, yes. Okay.
I did not find this section of the reading boring at all.
Yeah.
Because we're like unfolding, new clues after 7 years.
It picked up. It was slow to start, but it picked up.
I think it's super terrible that Cam cannot get over this because she's still being tracked and traced. Her calls are being monitored. Her texts are being monitored. Her house is being monitored by everybody.
Yeah.
So I think, she's the tragedy here.
Yeah.
I feel bad for him.
Yeah. The chat's asking, so are Luke and Charlie brothers? And I would not say that's a guess, and it's a good guess. But I wouldn't say that we know that either.
But are we being led to believe that at this point?
We're definitely being led to believe that, and I think it's probably not true. I mean, like, we're supposed to believe that Luke is chilling in some tiny laundromat in London just all the time, right? Like, the way the CCTV stuff works, like, it will just, like, recognize his face or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, man. Like, that's really pushing it.
Yeah.
And he's like right there. Like, what if one of the cops just like randomly walks into that laundromat one day and then boom, there he is. It just seems dicey. I don't know. I don't know.
Who else would it be? If not Luke, then who?
It could be the cop whose wife was held hostage. That'd be my second guess.
Yeah, what if Luke really is dead this whole time?
I definitely think that's a possibility. I mean, but so, okay, fine. But then who did Niall talk to on the phone? Right? So now Niall's doing some bad stuff, right? Like, he's intercepting this message, changing the time so she shows up an hour late, stealing her letters. But then he calls, or he texts somebody. And then he does call somebody. I don't think the other person on the line says anything, but he calls that number. But we don't really know that person is Luke either. We're definitely led to believe that that's Luke.
Who would he have been leaving the note for if it's not Luke?
No. I mean, the message was definitely for Cam.
Okay.
Because they sent her the coordinates. But who could... I mean, like, it could have been this, like, crime family or whatever's going on, just being like, if you ever talk with her...
Or, like, attempt one of that lady trying to reach out to her.
It could have been.
Morgan? What was her name? I don't remember. I do feel really bad, like the kindergarten teacher or third grade teacher, whoever it is, asking, like, okay, so when are you going to tell your daughter the truth about this very famous situation that's happened with her dad? I don't know. That's a tough one. She's got to find the line between when is it appropriate developmentally and emotionally, and when's too far that she'll resent the fact that the kid will resent the fact that you didn't tell her the truth. Ugh, it's too tough. What's the second plot line we could do without?
Libby and her, like, family and not being able to have a baby.
Look, okay, now Libby is real judgy about Cam not moving on with this loss. Libby, you also are not moving on with your loss. And I'm not saying you should, but I'm saying maybe you can't tell other people when it's time to move on.
I'm still suspicious of her,
Of Libby?
Yes.
What are you suspicious of her about?
I don't know. I don't suspect her, so I suspect her. I don't know. Just saying.
What?
Just saying. Just saying.
What could she possibly have done?
I don't know. Maybe she's involved in the family business or something. I don't know.
How?
I don't know. I don't know what the business is. But like, so this is starting, this whole like, oh my god, there's a secret family crime business is becoming very much like Wrong Place, Wrong Time, where there was a whole secret crime family and like the whole deal and
Or secret
I mean it was like a
police family.
Yeah, but it was. But like, but there was,
Oh yeah, it was a crime.
Yeah, it was a crime situation.
That's right. I forgot.
So we're definitely heading kind of in that same direction.
So then maybe that's not what this is at all. There's just nothing but red herrings, and it is angels or vampires or.
I'm just saying, like, couldn't angels be brothers?
Are all angels brothers?
Maybe.
I don't know. Mm-hmm. So anyway,
we just spent so much time talking about that dude's tattoos. We did.
And we never saw him again.
Never saw him again.
Well,
I don't know. We definitely we have more clues. We have more guesses. I mean, I definitely get the feeling, and the same thing happened in Wrong Place, Wrong Time, where something was just like so totally hidden that like you could not possibly have guessed because like
we never would have guessed that.
I know, yeah,
yeah.
But like,
if you haven't read Wrong Place, Wrong Time,
I want to be able to guess.
You might want to like stop us so we don't ruin it for you.
We're doing a good job right now. So.
I love Peggy's explanation.
Oh, okay. Was it Lambert? Okay, yeah. I can't remember.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, I get confused about all the cops that we've barely seen. But okay, yeah.
They're all Dougs.
Yeah, they are kind of Dougie.
They just, they all blur. Yeah.
And look, like I get the cops' whole thing where they're like, "Well, look, we're not going to chase this like random coordinate text message. It's been 7 years, and like we're not putting a bunch of money to this." Like I get it. There's like actual crime still happening. You know, Niall's all mad because nobody's chasing this dude from 7 years ago, but like a lady straight up got murdered at her house, and nobody knows who her husband is, and nobody knows who killed her. I mean, like that was yesterday. So like we've got things happening over here. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't necessarily like judge the cops for their little situation.
What's gonna happen with Niles? He has gone too far.
Yeah, he's definitely. I mean, like
he's gone off script.
He's got some ethical problems now. I don't know. I don't know.
Opening up to his therapist.
He like thinks he's gonna get back with his wife.
Was outside her house and put her can up. Oh, I'd be so mad. And why would our sister tell him that? It's too much.
But so okay, like so here we have this Niall story, and he has like a parallel, right? He has like a wife who's left him. It's been 7 years, right? So Niall's wife has literally been gone from him for as long as Luke has been gone from Cam, literally. Mm-hmm. So we have a lot of similarities there. What is the hint? Like what are we supposed to draw from Niall's situation? Is it this obsession about job, right? Because there is that. If this idea that Luke is escaping the family business, and the whole point is that Niall was obsessed with his business, and that's why. And so his wife escaped. Is it like a reverse? Is that supposed to be the tie-in that we get? So.
Yeah, which is worse, to leave or be left?
Mm-hmm. Or what is it about Niall, about how Niall can get back his wife, that should give us a clue about how Cam can get back Luke, or vice versa? What if Niall's the brother in the laundromat? I've had that thought too. And he could be using Charlie or whoever as like a spy to try to, because he's trying to.
He has just gone way too far, if that's what he's doing. Like, obsessed. How how is Cam ever going to get over all this? How is she ever going to be normal again? Once she, because I'm assuming at some point she will figure out that like her phones have been tapped and everyone's been watching her and.
Yeah. So Sue's saying, can Niall relate to the need for closure because he needs it too, some kind of way, because he wants closure for somebody. Yeah, but like, so I guess I'm kind of thinking along the lines of Peggy or Shelby or somebody was saying like that they could do. Oh, Peggy was saying that she could do without the sort of like Libby story. Mm-hmm. Well, I could almost do without Niall's like love life. It is the you heard me saying this to my brother this morning when we were talking about something different, maybe. But I was saying like there's always this cop secondary story where the wife leaves him and he's obsessed with his job and it causes problems. That's a real thing. I get it. But like it's always there and it's like I get it. Like you could just be like, and you know the normal cop secondary story where his love life is in shambles? We're doing that too. And I'd be like, all right, I get it. And then like you just don't have to write it because like I get it. It's cool. You know? It's like why are we doing this again? And why is that story supposed to be meaningful? What does it add besides just like telling me something about the character, right? I guess it shows sort of Niall's obsessiveness, but I get that already.
I don't know.
And like I feel like the Libby storyline is kind of necessary because you have to have somebody take care of the kid while Cam is like running around doing stuff. And so like I feel not that her storyline is necessary, but like Libby is a necessary character as like a built-in babysitter.
Right.
So that Cam can go do these things.
Cam is not just not moving on, but she's a neglectful mother, you know?
And then so like having this like explanation of why Libby doesn't have kids and she's always available to do this. Like, okay, you know, that's in there.
Yeah.
But what's up with Niall's story? Why do I have to have that?
So, and we see this like turn of understandings, seeing things through other people's lenses and other people's footsteps. Like Niall thought Luke was guilty and he wanted to catch him out of revenge and bring justice to the situation. Well, now he's learned things might be different.
Right.
And now he wants to find Luke, exonerate him, and now he understands like how Cam's been feeling this whole time. You know, like I don't know. Maybe that we're just supposed to have these different characters and vantage points so that we can see how they shift and how we understand. They understand each other.
Yeah. But so like
step in their shoes for a while.
Yeah. Here's another part. Here's another like thing about. So talking about how like Niall now realizes that like the situation is not the way he thought it was, you know, and so they're like looking into this warehouse. They think they see one thing, and then they see like Luke's hand sneak out and grab the gun. Which number one, if you're like holding hostages, don't put your gun down, right? Like
they weren't yet. They were just chilling.
Yeah, but like doesn't matter.
I know, just chilling. Let me just set this down right here.
Don't do that.
Like a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and so like here's these two like pro killers, and they're like putting their gun down and letting some dude like wander up on them and pick it up. I don't know about that, man. Like I don't know. But so I'm supposed to be led to believe that Luke knows that two dudes are going to try to kill him. For some reason, he knows to go to this particular warehouse to meet them. He's looking for a shotgun. That's the original deal with the protection guy. He doesn't get it because it takes time. So he goes to the warehouse anyway, unarmed, peeps through the window or something, sees the gun on the table, and is like, all right, now I can make my move. Instead of just like not going.
So, if the person that grabbed... Okay, hang on. Two different things. If the person that was sending those communications was really the wife that ended up being held hostage.
So that's my point.
Who grabbed the gun?
Luke does.
Luke does.
Yes. And we might find out that like Luke is somehow related to the sister. That's a possibility, right?
To the sister.
To the sister of the cop, like the woman who is Luke might be related to the woman. That might be his sister or something, right?
Gotcha.
Who is held hostage, right? Okay. Maybe they know each other. Maybe that's
the
why she
owner
helps
of the
him.
Warehouse.
Maybe that's why he helps her. But I think that point about him showing up unarmed and now we know that he takes some dude's gun, I think that lends credence to the idea that he is not the person on the dark web asking for a weapon. That's why I think it's her. Because I don't think you just show up to a gunfight with nothing.
So why did Luke end up there at all?
Maybe he was there to try to help. Maybe she had reached out to him. I don't know.
So maybe they are siblings.
Mm-hmm.
She's in this crime family, running these warehouses. That checks out.
Yeah. Okay, so let me ask you this. Do we know that the person reporting to my brother
Is a guy.
Do we know that's a guy?
No.
I don't think so either. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so either.
We do not have much of this book left.
No.
Like an hour.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing.
We're
is
like right
left.
there?
We're right there.
We should have somebody read like all the way and then be like, okay, this is the furthest you can possibly make it until you know the answer, right? So like, don't flip to page 60. You can go to 59. The answer is on 60, and then we'll stop on 59 and we'll just like play, like, and we'll see what happens. Like, what's the deal? Somebody in the chat has finished the book, so maybe you can tell me how far I can go. Still play. Okay, so let's go back. So Peggy's saying, as a person who likes communication, it irritated me that the sister said Vic shouldn't have to tell him how she feels. Isn't that the point of marriage?
Who's Vic?
Off the top of my head, I'm not
Is
sure.
that her husband?
Yeah. So then Peggy says, oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. They both...
That's a song.
Oh, yes. Oh, they both... Okay, yeah, got it.
The song that's been in my head this whole time is I always feel like somebody's watching me.
Yeah, she was whistling that this morning. Yeah, I don't disagree that it can be Libby's husband. Okay, got it. I don't disagree that it can be kind of hard to follow this story. I think Wrong Place, Wrong Time was sort of similar, because there are a lot of like threads being woven together, and we just don't know what's going on. Niall's wife.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
yeah, Vic, yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's, yeah, she just like kind of ghosts him, and like I guess she complained at some point, but it was sort of just like, surprise, I'm not happy with this anymore, and I feel like that's rude. I'm on board, but
Well, because when we were in Niall's head and he was reflecting on his marriage, you know, he always kind of played along with she thinks he's doing some like cool,
yeah,
big cop guy stuff, but that he always came back home and they'd snuggle up on the couch and everything was great, and you know, everything seemed fine.
yeah,
from his end.
Well, and like, I mean, let's look. She's not innocent in all this. I'm just saying, because he would come home and find like monkeys in the shower and stuff, and like that's not
Just
cool.
Cats
Yeah,
everywhere.
that's not cool. I'm just saying. Well, Peggy, the good news is it can end today.
Yeah,
So,
you could be done with it.
yeah. And so we do need to pick another book. We'll just go ahead and say this now. It's my turn to pick. I have no idea what I'm going to do, but we do have some things coming up on Sundays with holidays and a couple other things over the next couple weeks, and so we're gonna have to figure out how to balance that all out. And so we'll put out something for that. No, I just thought it was funny. Y'all know I would, but I'm not gonna do that to you.
Let's remember who picked the worst book so far.
What was that? Me? It was me.
No, it was me.
Was it you?
Hurricane season.
Oh, that. I mean, that was bad. But like, what about
What
chess book?
The chess book was pretty bad.
That
too.
one was mine. Fair enough. Bad for different reasons.
Yeah.
No, one of our earliest followers suggested that we never pick anything less than 4 stars on Goodreads, and we really do try hard to stick to that. So.
Yeah, 3.6 is fine. Because there's books that I read that I love that have not gotten 4 stars on Goodreads, and I'm like, well,
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, so I found a short format that is Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it like has the question pop up with all the different answers. And I think I'm going to start posting shorts with like trivia from different books that we've read. And then like you can just like guess and the answer will be in the comments or something. I think it'd be kind of cool.
ugh, forgot about Neuromancer. It was better than Flanders
It was better than
Panel.
Flanders Panel. Yeah.
Flanders Panel is at the bottom. Flanders Panel is so bad, I don't think that we should use its word. It should be truncated, like its name.
The book that should not be named.
Flanders asterisk.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. Next bracket choice.
Oh.
All right. Well, I don't know what's all in that bracket, but I want to win, so I'm gonna pick a fantastic book.
Goodreads is a liar. Peggy had a kid write a paper on it.
Oh, that's
Do share.
I really do wish somebody would take the time to make like the next level. Like Goodreads is just.
It does exist. We just haven't popped on board.
What is that? Fable? Is that what it's called?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't remember. I feel like we've saved it and we've like.
Yeah,
I'm
willing to give it a shot. And like, there's nothing wrong with Goodreads, but it's like stuck in 2008, and it could be better. So.
It was stuck in 2008.
Oh, Peggy's saying no. Neuromancer was worse than Flanders Panel. That's a hot take. I'll have to think about that.
The way you worded that confuses me.
Both. Look, everybody's saying that Neuromancer was worse than Flanders. Wow.
Oh. It confused me the way Rotten Tomatoes confuses me.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know what a good score means. Does it mean it's bad? I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, look, I think we've left the home stretch here, so we can probably just go ahead and end it so everybody else can end it.
God. Don't end it. Please finish the book.
It would be very on theme for this book.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we can all go finish the book, and we can talk about it next week. So we will be having a show next week. That is not in question. Oh, so it would be the first reading of our next book. Yeah, we were off by 1 week.
Yeah, we could. Well, we'll figure it out. And we'll let you know.
Yeah. Anyway, we appreciate everybody playing along, even if you're not necessarily enjoying it. The discussions is always a great time. Yeah, we'd love to see your paper. That'd be very cool.
Please.
So. All right. Any other thoughts?
In the book. Does anyone else have any final guesses? Type fast. I want to know.
Joke's on y'all when it's angels. All right.
What if that lead cop guy, angel cop guy, is the brother being reported to?
It's possible. That's definitely possible.
I don't want it to be like...
Something's going on with him. He doesn't have to be an angel, but that dude's something.
I don't want it to be like internal cop bad stuff.
It's always internal.
It's always. I feel like a lot of the things that we've... Like the Harlan Cobens and everything.
I don't know at what point that started, but like the bad guys are never bad guys anymore. It's the cops that are bad guys. And like, that's fine. Like, corruption happens. I'm on board. But like, that is such like a common thing.
Yeah, well, we read to escape reality.
I think reading about bad guys being bad guys is not escaping reality. That is quite on brand for reality.
Shucks.
Yeah.
All right.
Wrap it up.
Bye. Happy reading.
Bye.
Uh-oh. Something popped up.
I'll get rid of that.